Hi, Kurtz here, and this is Easy Access Math. Today, we're going to talk about Pemdas. You may have heard of Pemdas. It's an acronym that helps you with the mathematical order of operations. It's come under some scrutiny lately because it's not perfect. But what is? So I'm going to help you use Pemdas, but remember its shortcomings, and so that way you won't make a mistake when performing the order of operations in math. You may have seen this on Facebook. Hey, we're on Facebook at Easy Access Math, and YouTube. This problem with all the sevens. 7 minus 7 divided by 7 times 7 plus 7 times 7. That's a lot of sevens. And the correct way is using the order of operations. You just don't go from left to right. But left to right does have an important play. So let's review the order of operations, PEMDAS, if you will, or the saying, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. They actually stand for the order in which we perform mathematical functions. Parentheses, if any, first, then exponents, if you have any, followed by multiplication, division, addition, and then subtraction. But something to remember, and I'll point that out, multiplication and division are actually equals, and when you have both of those together, you would go with the one that's on the left first. So you may actually divide before you multiply. It depends which is on the left. The same with addition and subtraction. They are equals. If you have addition and subtraction together, you would perform the one on the left first and go in that order. Addition and subtraction are of equal priority, and multiplication and division are also of equal priority. The one that's on the left gets performed first. That's where PEMDAS has a shortcoming, and some people say don't use it. But it's a good acronym to remember. We'll be back in a minute to show you this problem and illustrate that. And then we will have a lesson on avoiding the PEMDAS trap. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.
There are many arguments against the death penalty. It's not a deterrent against the crimes that it punishes. Society who use the death penalty don't have lower crime rates than those that do. When a country abolishes the death penalty, they are not plunged into criminal chaos. But even if the death penalty did reduce crime rates, would it then be acceptable?
Okay, we're back. We're going to work out and illustrate this problem. Remember, I broke down the order of operations of PEMDAS, parentheses first, if any, then exponents, then multiplication and division from left to right, and addition and subtraction from left to right. These are equals. Multiplication and division are equals. I'm going to illustrate that here. Now, in this problem that we have with the 7 over here, you can see that 7 minus 7 divided by 7 times 7 plus 7 times 7. We don't have parentheses in this particular problem, and we don't have exponents to deal with. But we do have the other functions of multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And so I'm going to perform those. And remember, we're going to look at that order of operations as a guide. So let's start where we're going to go first. We deal first with, since there are no parentheses or exponents, multiplication and division. And I do the leftmost one first. See, if you take a look over here, you will see that we have consecutively multiplication and division. If I look too closely here, I would make this mistake of doing this first. We don't want to do that. We will do the division first, 7 divided by 7, which gives me 1, times 7, which gives me 7. Had I multiplied 7 times 7 first, I would have 7 divided by 49, which would be a number, but it would be a fraction of a number, and that would be wrong in this case. Fractions do sometimes exist as correct answers in math, but in this case that would be wrong. Multiplication and division performed from left to right. I will bring everything else down now, so here's my 7 minus. I didn't touch that because that was separated by subtraction, and I'll bring down my plus 7 times 7. And I have here another multiplication to deal with. I will do that next because there's the 7, the plus 7 here. These will all work in. These will already work into this answer here. So I'm left with 7 minus 7 plus 7 times 7. I perform that multiplication next, giving me 7 times 7 is 49. Everything else comes down. Multiplication always comes before all addition and subtraction, as does division. So I have 7 minus 7 plus 49, because these two 7s multiplied, they were taken into consideration. So now, let's move that plus sign over. Now I'm just left with addition and subtraction. And again, if I looked at Pemdas too closely and I didn't remember that addition and subtraction are equals, I go from left to right, I would do the 7 plus 49 first, get 56, and then subtract 56 from 7, which I could do. It would be a negative number, a negative 49, but that would be the wrong answer, because when we're left with addition and subtraction, we do the order of operations from left to right. They are equal priority. So I do my 7 minus 7 first, which gives me 0 plus 49. And that gives me a positive 49, which is a lot different than negative 49. That's how you do PEMDAS, and that's how you do PEMDAS carefully to avoid the PEMDAS trap. I'll be back in a bit after some important announcements to talk more about the PEMDAS trap. And later I'm going to give you some problems to do. So stay with Hey, this is Kurtz at the Mill Basin Day Camp Game Show Studio, inviting you to come down and join us on our game shows, and dozens of other great activities too. How can I join?
If you want to get in the game and join the fun, come on down to Mill Basin Day Camp. We've got great activities all summer long, like the Game Show Studio, Mill Basin's Got Talent, the Computer Room, Arts and Crafts, dance, and a whole lot more. So come on down to Mill Basin Day Camp and have some summer fun. For more information, call 718-251-6200. That's 718-251-6200.
Because of camp, I learned to make lasting friendships with people I still keep in touch with today.
Because of camp, I learned about self-esteem.
Because of camp, I play guitar.
Because of camp, I am sending my kids to camp this summer.
I learned that I was the best Tarzan yeller in the camp.
Because of camp, I got a personality. Now I'm...
Because of camp, I turned out just fine.
There are many arguments against the death penalty. It's not a deterrent against the crimes that it punishes. Society who use the death penalty don't have lower crime rates than those that do. When a country abolishes the death penalty, they are not plunged into criminal chaos. But even if the death penalty did reduce crime rates, would it then be acceptable?
Check out Easy Access Math on YouTube. It's math made easy. Hi, Kurtz here, and this is Easy Access Math, and today we have a very important lesson on avoiding the Pemdas trap, so stay with us. Hi, Kurtz here, and this is Easy Access Math. And today we have a very important lesson on avoiding the Pemdas trap. You don't want to get stuck in the Pemdas trap, and I'm going to tell you all about that. But first, we all know PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's an acronym to help you remember the order of operations in math. And it's good to remember the basic structure. It stands for parentheses, which we always do first. We do braces, brackets, parentheses, whatever's inside them. We work those out first. So parentheses is always done first, and then exponents. Here's where the trap comes in, followed by the exponents following that is multiplication and division. But they are really equals. You do the one that's on the left first. You go from left to right. So sometimes you divide before you multiply. It depends on which one is on the left when you get to that step. And it's the same with addition and subtraction. They are equals. They have equal priority. Just like multiplication and division, you do whichever is on the left first, so you don't always add before you subtract. You do the one on the left first. And that's how you avoid the PEMDAS trap. So, I think PEMDAS is still a good basic structure to remember the basic general order, but remember, it has its drawbacks, and it could lead you to a wrong answer. That's why it's illegal in 17 states and 6 territories. But let's work out this problem, and I'm going to show you how we're going to avoid the PEMDAS trap. Here's our problem. We have, in parentheses, 2 plus 2 outside to the second power, that's the exponent, divided by 2 times 4 minus 5 plus 9. So following PEMDAS, we will do the parentheses first. We have 2 plus 2, that's 4. I'll bring everything else down. Divided by 2. Make that division sign nice. Times 4. Now, I wrote the old-fashioned times sign. Sometimes there might be a parentheses with nothing between it, separating your number from the next number, and that also means multiplication, just to remember. Minus 5 plus 9. So I brought everything else down. Now I'm going to follow the next step, exponents. And that also is in the proper order. There's nothing wrong with that. We do 4 to the second power is 16. That's the square. Bring everything else down. Divided by 2 times 4 minus 5 plus 9. Now, here's where the trap can come in if you're not careful. The next letter in the acronym is M for multiplication. But you must remember, if you were to multiply this first, forget Aunt Sally, you're going to have the wrong answer. When you have multiplication and division right next to each other in the problem, you would know if they're separated by a plus or minus sign, you could do them separately, and they don't have effect on each other. But when they're together like this, you go from left to right. It's always a good practice going from left to right with your multiplication and division. So I'm going to do that. It's 16 divided by 2 first, then times 4. So 16 divided by 2 is 8 times 4 gives me 32. I just worked out this entire multiplication and division going from left to right. I didn't follow this exactly and do the multiplication first. I went from left to right. That's how I avoid the Pemdas trap. So I have 32 minus 5 plus 9. And here again, the trap can rear its ugly head and get you. Because it looks like A comes before S. And then I would add, now I'll get 5 plus 9 is 14. And I would say 32 minus 14, and that gives me 18. And the teacher would put a big X on that because it's wrong. It's the Pemdas trap. I followed Pemdas too closely. What I needed to do, let's erase that. I don't want anyone to see that. What I needed to do was go from left to right. When you have addition and subtraction, they're equal priority, so it's left to right. 32 minus 5 is 27, plus 9 is 36. And that is my answer. I did not fall into the Pemdas trap. Everybody is happy. So, this is the way you avoid the Pemdas trap. Like I said, you could use it as the basic structure, but remember, multiplication and division are equals. And so you do the one on the left first, from left to right. Addition and subtraction are equals. Again, you go from left to right. The one on the left first. And that's how you avoid the Pemdas trap. Check out our other videos at Easy Access Math.
Because of camp, I learned to make lasting friendships with people I still keep in touch with today.
Because of camp, I learned about self-esteem.
Because of camp, I play guitar.
Because of camp, I am sending my kids to camp this summer.
I learned that I was the best Tarzan yeller in the camp.
Because of camp, I got a personality. Now I'm...
Because of camp, I turned out just fine.
There are many arguments against the death penalty. It's not a deterrent against the crimes that it punishes. Society who use the death penalty don't have lower crime rates than those that do. When a country abolishes the death penalty, they are not plunged into criminal chaos. But even if the death penalty did reduce crime rates, would it then be acceptable?
Okay, here's one for you to try. Order of operations problem with all fives. We have in parentheses 5 plus 5, close parentheses, times 5 to the second power, minus 5 divided by 5, plus 5. See if you could work that out and come up with the magic number that I get. We'll be right back.
Because of camp, I learned to make lasting friendships with people I still keep in touch with today.
Because of camp, I learned about self-esteem.
Because of camp, I play guitar.
Because of camp, I am sending my kids to camp this summer.
I learned that I was the best Tarzan yeller in the camp.
Because of camp, I got a personality. Now I'm...
Because of camp, I turned out just fine.
There are many arguments against the death penalty. It's not a deterrent against the crimes that it punishes. Society who use the death penalty don't have lower crime rates than those that do. When a country abolishes the death penalty, they are not plunged into criminal chaos. But even if the death penalty did reduce crime rates, would it then be acceptable?
Okay, are you ready? We're going to work this out. We're going to use Pemdas as a guideline, but we're going to remember multiplication and division are equals. They go from left to right. We perform the one on the left first, as addition and subtraction is from left to right. They're equals. The first thing I have is parentheses this time. The 5 plus 5. And that gave me 10. I do that first because it's in parentheses. And I will bring everything else down. I have 10 times 5 minus 5 divided by 5 plus 5. Okay? And my next step, according to the order of operations, would be exponents. Almost forgot that guy there. We need to be careful. We have 5 squared, so I still have my 10. Let's illustrate that in a different color. Here we go. We got my 10. Still waiting there, times 25, which is 5 times 5 minus 5 divided by 5 plus 5. Okay, my next step is multiplication and division from left to right. My multiplication is over here on the left, so I'll do that first. I have 250 minus 5 divided by 5 plus 5. Okay, my next step is division. Because we're still on that multiplication and division level. Had the division been on the left, we would have performed the division first. We go from left to right with multiplication and division because they're equals. We did the multiplication first, not because M is before D, it's because the multiplication was on the left. But keep that in mind. Multiplication and division equals in priority. So now division, I'll bring down my 250. Minus 5 divided by 5 is 1. Plus 5. Remember again, we want to avoid that Pemdas trap which could happen here. Addition and subtraction, again, there of equal priority is next. And I do the one on the left first. This time it's subtraction. 250 minus 1 is 249 plus 5. My answer, 249 plus 5, is 254. I hope you got that answer. I'll give you a smiley face for that. And if your answer matched my answer, we were both right, and we avoided the Pemdas trap. Check out all of our videos on YouTube, and join us on Facebook at Easy Access Math. And thank you for watching. Check out Easy Access Math on YouTube. It's math made easy.